recording that. Yeah, I will just continue from here. So inside the web server, we have another server inside. We call it database. So I have my database over here because I have a lot of data here. And I will just bring whatever the clients ask to me. So for example, if you go to this college or if you go to the Power School, you are requesting your information only. So the student A, whenever he or she is logging to the Power School or to this college brings only the grades, only assignment which is assigned to that person only. So the web server is not bringing entire database because the first, it's not efficient. The second one is privacy. You see? So right now we have different types of layers. So let me just go to the PLTW and what the PLTW says. So it's just basically the same one. So right now we have our clients. That is a client 1, that is a client 2, that is a client 3. It doesn't matter what kind of device you are using. It may be a laptop, it may be a PC, or it may be any mobile device. So you are going to your internet. So it's kind of cloudish stuff. But here inside, we have a different types of layers, and we'll just discuss just in a second. And now we have a different services. So that is the web server 1, that is the web server 2. So that web server is holding different websites, and these web server holding different websites. So for example, that holds the yahoo.com or google.com, and that holds the cnn.com. And so how the client and server, they communicate to each other. You see, so that is important. So we need to have the communications. And plus, we need to have a high level of security. And by saying the security, do you remember that I was showing here that we have a database and we need to secure it somehow because the client A must receive the information which belongs to client A only. What about client B? What about client C? But here we have some bad guys. So they are trying to get inside our database and get all information or information they need. Okay, so we will see what kind of attacks they can have. So here it says that. So for example, the client is requesting the website. So that is one of the layers. And the internet is saying that, hey, I have a client. I have a client to the web server saying, hey, web server, do you have that website? And the server says, yes, I have that website. Let me just check in database. So it checks the database, it retrieves, it gets all the information, and it gives to the web server again. So it makes some small pack and gives to the web server. And the web server is sending to the layers because the layers is going to figure out how to display it on the website, how to display it on the screen, and it is going to pop up on the client's end. So let's see what kind of different layers we have. So we have a client side and we have a server side because each of them, they are using different layers. So yes, in this course, cybersecurity, we are not learning what is the coding is all about. We are not learning in deep HTML, CSS, or like in Python and Java and so on and so on and so on. But just to have the general idea what is the HTML stands for and why we are using CSS in JavaScript and so on. So the client side that I was explaining over here, the client side is using the certain the languages. So here we have the main one is HTML, and probably like I think most of you know HTML, and even you can code with the HTMLs. So the HTML is just to organize, to just visualize that data that comes from the web server. In the web server, there is nothing with the GUI, and it's all about coding. If you look inside, if you look in the scripts inside in the web server, you will see these kind of boring codes and so on and so on, because there is no need to apply the GUI. So the HTML or JavaScript or CSS, it just brings this data and brings in a little bit in a fancy way and show in our screens. Okay, so that is the main goal of HTML or JavaScript. Let me just go back ahead again and I'll explain. So we have a JavaScript and we have a Visual Basic script as well. So the Visual Basic is powered by Microsoft. So these languages are using the in the layers for the clients. But what we have on the server end, and I'm pretty sure some of you are taking my courses Python, or you took like in Java and PHP. So that is in on the server, because the server is going to analyze them. The server is going to sort them. The server is going to use the different variables. So if you are doing data science, if you are doing any game developing, and so on and so on and so on. So these languages are using on the server side. And also we have a SQL. I still don't know how to spell it, because in some language, in some books, I'm checking some YouTube videos. Some of them say SQL, and some of them say CQ. I'm not sure which one is correct, but here it says the CQ is where is it? Somewhere it was saying that the most is a SQL, but it doesn't matter. So what is the SQL is? The SQL is one of the languages that is going to organize all my data. So let me just go ahead and I will demonstrate. So that is my web server. And the idea of the web server is just provide the web to the clients. And inside we have a database. So we have a database over here. And here we are running the SQL, the coding stuff. So this SQL is helping me to organize all data. And if you use the Microsoft Excel or the Google Sheets, so it's kind of, you see the all cells, you see the rows and columns, and you can organize all of them. But the Microsoft Excel or the Google Sheets is just limiting. So it's not that much with a huge volume. So the SQL has a capability that is going to store, it's going to sort and organize all data that we have in the database. So that is the picture about what is all layers of the client and the servers. So right now, this picture is kind of familiar for you. So right now we are using internet. We need to log into the PLTW, and for the PLTW, we are going to log into the server. So this time we are going to use a little bit different IPs. Actually, not exactly in this activity, after that one. So we started activity 2.3, and today we are doing 3.3.1. And next week, we are going to make it 2.3.2. And after this point, guys, we are going to use these IPs. Last time, if you remember that, we used to use the 5 and 15 over here. So right now, it's a little bit changed, because right now we are going to use different servers. Okay, but don't worry, guys, you don't have to memorize, but just keep in mind, because you might ask the question, last week we had a 5 over here, why it's 6? Because right now we are going to use different machines. Last time the assignments was different. So whenever you log into the PLTW using this link, guys, you will see a little bit different interface. I mean, like the background is same, but you will see the different folders. Okay, so what is for today? So right now, you see I have a couple stops over here. We will not cover all of them, but in this unit, in this lesson 2.3, we will try to cover all of them. So let's see, let me just go with the activities. So right now, I have a website. So website 231. So right now we are doing the activity 231. So right now I have two websites. So let's go ahead and analyze them. So do you remember that we were talking about, we have a client layer and we have a server layer. So we on the client level, we have HTML, we have a JavaScript, we have a Visual Basic script, or we have a CSS. So those the languages that we are using on the client side that is helping us to visualize, to make those fancy stuff. So if I click on that website, it's very basic. So let me see what is going to show us. Nothing. I mean, like it's just popping up me that screen saying hello world. You see, the website is working perfect. I cannot see it's fancy. I don't see that much. It's very, very simple, because right now we are going to dive inside in codes, and let's see what is inside. Okay, so I just click it. I just run the website just to make sure that is working, but it's working now. So what I'm going to do is I will right click and I will edit on the Notepad++. So what does it mean? That if I click on that one, I can see all scripts. I can see how this website was made. It's just a couple lines of codes, and it's not that much complicated. So if you are familiar with the HTML, or if you are not, that is absolutely fine. And I'm just reminding one more time, we are not learning code, but just to have ideas what is going on inside. Because as a cybersecurity specialist, we need to know what is inside. So in HTML, as you see, so I have a script. So my script is opened, my script is closed. Right now, my body is open, my body is closed, and I have my HTML open, my HTML closed. So usually whenever we type the HTML codes, we need to open, we need to close it, and everything in between. If I have my object, I need to open the object and close it. If I do not close it, it is not going to run. Okay, so it's kind of the technical issues with the HTML. So let me see the script here. It says alert. Alert, that means it is popping up the new window on my website, and it gives that message, hello world. If you're using like the Python or Java, they have a different syntaxes. So that alert syntax is belong to the HTML. Perfect. So we learned how to make it. And also, if you pay attention here, you see I have a script. If I have just a script, it's just the beginning. But if you put the slash over here, I'm not sure if you see that. I cannot zoom in. Can I? Oh, yes, I can. You see, if I make the slash script, that means I'm closing my scripts. And the same in the body. I have a body and I have a slash body. So I'm closing my bodies and so on. But again, I'm underlying, guys, don't force yourself that you need to learn HTML or CSS or something. Don't worry about it. Just see what is going on. So that was the basic one. Let me go and analyze the second one. The second one just a little bit advanced. Let's see what is inside. So we have a bunch more things going on. And before going to the script, let me just go ahead. I will run it. And let's see if the website is working. Yes, it's perfect. It is working now. But the only thing is, it's asking me, hey, what is your name? I will put a Frank. And let me just click it. It says, hello, Frank. Wow, it's a little bit more advanced than we had before. So right now it's asking me to make some inputs. On the back side, we do not see what is going on. It generates something and it is give me that message. That means something is going on now. So the website is asking me to give some inputs. Here is the question. What if the bad guys is going to put not a name, but they are going to inject the virus? Really? Is it possible? And of course it's possible, because right now, after this point, we're going to talk about what kind of security we need to have. So I put my name and it just worked perfectly. What if I will put something different, weird stuff, and we will talk about just in a second. So some hackers or some programmers, they can inject a code that is going to kind of damage my website, or I can steal something from the website. Okay, so let me just go ahead and analyze. I will just get it and right click, edit with Node++. So right now I see my script, I'm closing my script, I have my body, I'm closing my body, and so on and so on. So here is something is going on. And also they put something like notes over here. You see, it says it gets some names from the user. So here, the cybersecurity specialist is taking role. In the first website, in the first case, there is no need for the cybersecurity specialist, but here we know. Imagine that you are working in the company and you have a website that you are requesting something from the outside, from the user, and how we can prevent the attackers, how we can prevent them. And let me just go ahead and here we have a different activities. I will go to my connections. So right now we have one website. It's called the CTS. So this is a website is just for training and see what kind of the different types of injections we are going to have. So I will just skip that part because I already explained it, what is the HTML and how it's working and so on and so on. And yes, if you want, you can go ahead and read them. It's very good, guys. I really enjoy doing these assignments, but I think I already explained what is that. So we have a JavaScript, it's for dynamic stuff. So JavaScript is receiving my message, is just making some functions and send it back. But the HTML is just showing the website. It just, you see, do you remember that two websites that I showed you? So that HTML is the basic one, JavaScript is kind of more advanced one. So we have also cross-site scripting, or sometimes we call it XSS. So what does it mean that? From some of the website, I'm not sure if you're using adhesive or if you use the college or something. So whenever the first time you open the website, so right now you see it's asking me, hey, put your email and put your password. And after that, that information goes to my web server. From the web server, it goes to my database and it just collected those data and brings to me. Okay, that is working. What if I will put a different codes over here, like the weird codes? So that is going to send my web server and just blow the mind of the server. You see, so we call it XSS. So injecting the files that is not supposed. So it's typed to exploit the attackers from take the advantages of the inputs. So let me just demonstrate one of them. So the system that we are running right now, the username and password is admin and password. So let me just go ahead and I will do it over here. So right now we have an admin and I have a password. So right now I'm just using one regular website. I'm not sure if that a real website, but they're just giving the website and just giving scenario. And imagine that is one of the banks, okay? So as a cybersecurity specialist, you will see a different interface. If you are just client, you'll be seeing something different. But here is, let me just go to the security level. It says high right now, you see? And let me just bring to the low. And I will see if my security is low and how it looks like. So right now it's asking me, hey, what is your name? So I will just imagine that the website is working good. So let me just put the Frank over here. If I submit it, it says the hello Frank. So everything is good. Everything is working perfectly. So right now we are going to inject a code that is going to mask the code. So I'm looking at the mask backside that we do not see. So what those codes are all about. So what if I will put something different? You see, do you remember the script that we used in HTML? So right now I have my script and also I have my closing script. That is good. And do you remember we have an alert in the HTML? So that is going to pop up something for me. So let me just use the same script here. So you see, guys, that is the main idea of the website is just receiving the name from me. But what if I will put the HTML code inside of here? So I will say, I will open the script. So the first one, let me just zoom in. I'm not sure if you can see that. Yes, perfect. So right now I can say that is my script. Here I have my backslash script. And here in the between, I have my alert. And in the between, I will say that, let me say hello there. Oops, I misspelled, but that is fine. I will say hello there. You see, guys, right now I'm using different HTML and I'm injecting here that I do not supposed to do so. So let me just run it and let's see how it looks like if I submit it. Ba-bam. So that is working. I mean, the security level is low. So that stuff is accepting the HTML code. But if I bring my security, if I get my site security, and if I make it high, if I submit it. So, and after that, I will go back and if I type the same code, it is not going to give to me. But the question is, what is happening in back? So if I go to the view source, you see the view source over here, and let me just expand it. Let me just compare all of them. I have my high security, I have my medium security, and I have my low security. So in the beginning, it looks like same. So here is the same, here is the same, and for the low is the same. But the only thing is here is a different. You see, whenever I'm using my high security, I need to change my codes. If I'm using that security, I need to change my codes over here as well. So yes, you might ask the question, so why we are using low security? So what is the idea for that? So it depends on what company you are working with. It depends on what is your website is all about. Are you allowing the clients to give the names only, or do you want also them to make some inputs like coding as well? So if I give like an example for that one, so some of you are taking my course like Python, the data science. Right now we are using Code Sculptor, or we are using the Google Colab. You see, so right now on the website, on the GUI, we are typing our codes. So we are asking the clients or like students to give me script. So I need to keep my security low. But if you have a high security, like in bank accounts, email accounts, or like in other accounts, Schoology accounts, so you need to have the security high. I'm not sure if you go to the Schoology and type this code, if it's going to work or not. Actually, good question. Maybe we can go ahead and try that. So, but just keep in mind, whenever we have a dynamic website, and that website is developed by JavaScript or Visual Basic Script, so we can use that box to give the script that is going to uh, change the backside. So let me just go ahead and close that again. And let me just, if you follow these steps, guys, it's not that much complicated, and you will see it's not that much. I mean, okay, it's easy. And after that, guys, one more thing that we have, it's a SQL injections. So do you remember the SQL? It's dealing with a database. So what is the database is, so if you're logging to your Gmail and you are putting your username, and it goes to the Google, it goes to the Gmail, and it finds your email only and brings to you. That is good. So let me just demonstrate it here. I will say, let me put the security low. I will just put the low over here. That is good. So right now what we are going to do is we are going to make a SQL injections. So in this website, what I'm going to do is, as a regular customer, I'm going to pull out my information only. If I put the 1, what is going to do is it is going to bring only my information. Okay. If we put the 2 over here, it is going to bring only my information, which is number 2. But what if, is there in a way to put a script that is going to bring all informations? Oh, maybe, really? And imagine that Google has high the security, but imagine that that is a mail service, yet that you are going to send a script, and from the database you are going to have all passwords, or from bank account you can get all passwords. Let's see what that script is all about. So that is the wording that I was explaining to you. So it's the same. So right now, what I'm going to do is I will type that one. It's 1. Let me just type it. Let's see what is going on now. I will say 1. And here I will say, or 1 is equal to 1. I will say it's capital 1 is equal to 1. And what else? It is going to bring. So you see, I'm just coding. You don't have to memorize all of them. Right now, I'm sending to my database, and the database will assume that I'm asking for the 1 user only. If I submit it, it gives the error. It says, by the way, it should be not giving error. It should be giving something else. I did mistake over here. 1 equal to 1. Did I put something wrong? Oh, I didn't put, yes, here I didn't put that one. Perfect. So if I run, you see, by giving that code, I just received everybody's username and password. You see, can you imagine that you can type a script on the Gmail that is going to send to the web server, and you will just mask all web server, and that web server is going to send all user and passwords to you? Wow. So the main idea of this activity is just that is possible, that the hackers and attackers, they are putting the scripts over here. They're just injecting the scripts, and it just blows everything in the server and gets all information on the screen. But if your security level is low, even if it's high, so they are putting different codes over here. So here, if you try all of them, there is another type of script. You see, you need to try all of these two. If you just type it, and you will see something else is popping up, and so on and so on. So what is for today? You need to go ahead and do activity 2, 3, 1. And there's a couple snapshots. and all the way to the step 31, you need to take a snapshot. And there is some optionals as well, so you don't have to go to the 36 and so on. So the last one, what you need to do is take a snapshot of the 31. So we have a 31, we have a 30, and we have a couple more on the top. So let me just go ahead and see. It's a 20, it's a 15, 14, and I believe that is all. So we have a 5 snapshots. I will put all of them in Scology. Let me just summarize what is going on. Uh, so from the client, I have a client, I have a web server. So in between, I have a different layers. It can be 1 or 2 or 3 layers. And also I have a couple layers on my web server. So that is my web server, and that is my database. So we have a client. The client is requesting something from the website. It goes from the layer to the layer, from the layer to the layer. And whenever the website is approved, it goes back to that client. But some websites are dynamic websites. So the web server is asking to make some inputs, like what is your username, what is the password. And there is some bad guys, they are putting different codes, and it goes to the database, it messes all of them, and it receives all the web information to that client. So that is all about activity, how we can prevent these kind of scripts, and what is possible and what is not possible. But still, again, even if right now we are in 21st century, I think we have a highest level of the security, but it's not security yet, guys. So yeah, the hackers, I don't know, and they are crazy. They are doing different stuff. So they are trying to break the website and damage everything. But yeah, it's technology. Any questions so far, guys? I'm not sure if I confuse you, and I think it was not that much complicated. If you follow all these web steps, guys, you will see, and I believe you will enjoy it, guys. I did the same way. Let me go ahead. I will just pause the recording. I have a couple messages. I will go ahead and